Yeah, she is getting destroyed.
Might get a stoppage. Tatiana Suarez.
Holy cow.
TKO's Carla Esparza.
I know that there's so many people that are going through life and have a lot of struggles, and I went through struggles just like everybody else. I'm a human being, and if I can overcome, so can you.
Tatiana Suarez.
Like that.
That's it. It's going to be it. It's the strikes from Krylov to get it done.
Nikita, the banter Krylov.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier. I'm made for a fucking podcast. We're dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it. All right, welcome to UFC Unfiltered. Thank you to Jens Pulver for covering on Monday. I was away and I had no real phone reception. Like I couldn't make a phone call unless it was Wi-Fi, and my Wi-Fi was spotty. I was in a spa in the woods, so that's why I couldn't be. I was away.
Hold the fort, may I say. But
Yes.
first of all, let's announce who's on the show today before I ask about your little adventure in the woods.
We have Nikita Krylov is coming on, and we also have Tatiana Suarez, who's fighting for the first time since 2019. She's been off for almost 4 years.
You mean Tatiana Suarez, the undefeated MMA fighter?
That would be the one, yeah.
5-0 in the UFC. And I read, it's been a while, she was on that reality show, the 23rd season of
The Ultimate Fighter, yeah.
The Ultimate Fighter. And I'm reading about her getting, taking out JJ Aldridge, and then I'm hearing she got to the semifinals, and then I'm reading, and it was very exciting because and then I read, and then she in her third fight she faced teammate. Oh no, faced Team Claudia teammate, yeah, Kate Jackson, and she submitted Jackson in the first round by guillotine choke and advanced to the live finale. So then I'm like, oh man, what happens then? Nothing. I don't know. What the fuck? I don't read. All right, so what happens in the finale? Am I missing something here, Jake the Mighty Ginger?
Oh, you're saying he didn't put it in? Oh,
I mean, you can't assume I know. I mean, is it? Maybe it's on here. Maybe I didn't see it.
And then advance to the live finale, right? So you're saying why didn't he put that?
Okay, so what happened next? Is she the champion in the Ultimate Fighter or not?
Well, Amanda Cooper, I believe she subbed Amanda Cooper in the first. If that's the 23rd finale, I believe it is.
So she is an Ultimate Fighter champion.
Yeah.
Of the Ultimate Fighter. So was I. I didn't bring this whole thing up just to say that.
No, well, if you didn't, I would have.
Well, you always make me look good. But my point is,
You look thin.
that's what I wanted to get at. Who, me?
You look good. You look very thin.
I'm wearing a white shirt. You know what? I guess my stomach's trouble's been good on that point. I'm not bloated.
No.
It's like, because you're never keeping anything in.
I'm bloated. You know why? Because I ate like a fucking pig this weekend. I avoided the gym. I ate Jersey Mike's. I had Pepe's Pizza. By the way, Bet's. I've always heard of it. It's in New Haven. It was about an hour from where we were staying. Best pizza I've ever had is Pepe's. Best pizza I've ever had is Pepe's in New Haven.
Why is that?
It was thin. The way they cut it is thin. The cheese was incredible. The sauce. Everyone had said it was the best, and I was like, it really did live up to what everybody said. Frank Pepe's in New Haven, Connecticut.
Now, what did you do? And give me an idea. Listen, I've been with my wife a while. We like to keep it spicy. Where'd you go in the woods? And my wife's not into camping, so I'm letting you know.
No. It was a spa that's kind of set back in the woods that had very, very bad phone reception, and it was about 2 hours from here and an hour.
You need a spa.
They have it's a nice hotel, and there's a spa. You can get massages. There was a workout room allegedly, but I ignored it. No, none of that. None of that funny business.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No.
I was asking about the massage. Jimmy. So listen. It's not my cup of tea. Well,
it was nice.
Yeah, I'm not made for nice things, Jimmy. You should see my car. Oh, by the way, the other day I had to take some of my kids out. It was my one kid's. We celebrated my one daughter's 14th birthday. So
All right.
I rounded up a bunch of her friends, and I took my other two daughters and one of their friends. I mean, you know, can't have my car smelling like a fucking dispensary. So I go to 3 different fucking car washes. Nobody's doing the inside anymore.
I know. Same thing.
What are you even talking about? I go, I don't give a fuck if it's shiny outside. It's a fucking fucking Cypress Hill concert in here. No,
Yeah. Did they clean it finally?
No, I fucking went to the third one. It's like, I'll do the outside. Next thing you know, they go, I'm driving through the thing, and I fucking it felt like a disco concert in there. There's fucking lights going on. I go,
yeah.
Well, this is kind of nice, but this is not what I wanted. Fuck, man, I want to get I'm in the twilight zone. So then I get out of the fucking thing, and they have we have free vacuums if you want.
Right.
I'm in there vacuuming like a fucking moron because I don't know what I'm doing. I take the thing off with the suction thing, and anyway.
Yeah.
It's not a good story.
You could use that for something else too. That's that vacuum.
That's not good. That looks like what is it? And it's a flat front. You can't.
Yeah.
That would be that sounds like a torture device. That sounds like it'd be fun.
So you took them. Where'd you take them?
Round one. It was at the Broadway Mall out here in Long Island.
What's round one? Is it the restaurant?
It's like it's almost like a Dave and Buster's type thing.
Okay. Oh, they played games and stuff.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you though. You know, I'm with these my daughter's friends. I mean, they're 13 and 14. So it's like I know like they're dancers and stuff, but there's some fucking creeps out there.
Oh yeah.
Two of my daughter's friends come up and they're like, you know, this 30-year-old came up to us and was saying things.
What did they say? What was he saying? Commenting to them?
I think you're very attractive. And they're like, yo, we're 13 and 14. Get back off. So
did you see the guy?
Oh no, I was like a fucking on high alert after that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Following him around like a fucking pit bull. You know what I mean?
Sure.
My oldest is like, Daddy, your face changed when they when they told you that. I go, Dad, well, listen, you gotta, there's fucking creeps out there. That's where they go. Or maybe they do that. What do you call that? Dance Revolution. You ever see that?
I have, yeah. I don't participate in Dance Revolution.
I would love to see you on that. They do that. Some people go there all day long when they're in sweatpants and they're like got their quarters. I guess they got their card. It's not quarters anymore.
Yeah.
But yo, we got Tatiana here.
Tatiana's in the waiting room. Yeah, let's grab her.
I gotta scratch my back before she gets in.
Go ahead. Hopefully she'll come in and see
no,
Matt in his good shape.
I swear to God, don't let her in.
All right.
I'm gonna do it on the.
Oh God, do I hope she comes in while you're doing that?
No.
All right, yeah, it's too.
All right, let her get in when you want. You were here, Jimmy. I'd let you peck at it. I'm only kidding. I'd have you scratch it. I love you, my little bird.
I wouldn't scratch your back. It's too weird. Hey, Tatiana.
Look at this. It's been a hot minute since she's been here. I don't think she's ever been on the show, though, to be honest.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is the first time on this show, more important than anything. I know it's been a while since you fought. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She's like, yo.
I should have just acted like I couldn't. I'm like,
yeah. We're coming in hot.
You missed Matt.
We're so happy that you're back in the mix here.
Yeah. You missed Matt scratching his back with no shirt on. He demanded that you not be let in to see him with no shirt, scratching his back on the chair. It was really uncomfortable.
Oh, is that why I wasn't let in? I was like, man, I feel like maybe it's not working, the link.
No. You don't want to see that. You'd be scarred. My poor wife, she wakes up in the middle of the night and there's like the corner in our room. So she wakes up to see like a little bear. I can't reach certain spots. But anyway, that's so not important.
No.
Tight shoulders. Because you're so ripped.
No, it's just more I'm like a block. Tatiana, where have you been for the last 3 years?
3.5 years, right?
Yes. Where you been?
Where have I been? I've been trying to rehabilitate through a couple of injuries. First, I had a neck injury that I had fought with against Nina Ansaroff, which was my last fight. Now she's Nina Nunes. Yeah. And then I rehabilitated my neck and stuff, and I was going to come back. I was supposed to fight Roxanne Medaferi Monteferi, and then I injured my knee at practice pretty badly. I like tore every ligament in my knee, and so then I had to rehabilitate my knee, and obviously had surgery and stuff like that. And then I had to learn how to walk and run again, and it was crazy. Yeah.
How long was the knee rehab? How long was the rehab for the knee? And was that the longest rehab for all the injuries you've had?
No, I took 2 years off for my neck, and then I took a year. It's been like, so I had my surgery in August of 2021.
Wow.
So, yeah, but I had everything redone. So like I have like 3 reconstructed, what's it called? Ligaments. And then I also tore like, my meniscus, which is, I mean, in the scheme of things is really nothing, but yeah.
What was there a point where you thought like, oh, okay, this is starting to feel a lot better, and then the next injury would happen? Like how close did you finally get to saying, I want to book a fight before you had to reset?
I was supposed to fight Roxanne Modafferi, and then I hurt my knee. And then I felt really good after my knee surgery, maybe like a year into it. And then I started training really hard. But I felt like there was a lot of times where like I would go through a hard training camp or like I'd start training really hard and it would start acting up. So I'd have to kind of like back off and stuff. But then when I had at least trained for like a couple of months hard, would ask to fight Montana De La Rosa, or not. I didn't ask to fight anybody. I just asked for a fight. I didn't ask to fight her. But like, I don't want to seem like I just chose her out of everybody, but they just gave me her name and I said, yeah.
So wait, I'm sorry, Jimmy, you've been wrestling since you're a little girl, right? When did you start wrestling?
Yeah, I started wrestling when I was 3.5. My brother wrestled before me, and my uncles had brought home like a flyer for like a youth program. And my brother's 7 years older than me. So he was 5 when he started wrestling. And then when I was 3.5, I was like, I want to wrestle. And because I've been watching him, wrestle for a long time. And then my mom was like, girls don't wrestle. And then Marcy Van Dusen, who was she was an Olympian, and I wrestled with her and stuff. She was like, I still know her to this day. She was wrestling on the mat. And then I was like, well, she's wrestling. And she was 7 years older than me. So like she was around my brother's age. And my mom's like, okay, maybe next year or whatever, next tournament or whatever. So my mom let me wrestle. I weighed 28 pounds with everything on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I see these kids at my academy now, these little kids, some little girl Cosmo, and I can tell, I'm like, they love it. And I see how they're so small, like 7 years old. And I'm like, I can see them how many years from now, where they're going to be. That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I've coached wrestling too. And like now I go to like 10th Planet here in Vegas, and they have some like really legit little grapplers in there. I'm like, what the heck is going on? These little monsters taking back, choking people out. I'm like, one time I was watching this kid. He literally had a full rear naked choking on the other kid, and the kid somehow got out. But he was literally like, when you're getting choked and you make that noise, you're like,
yeah.
He was making that noise. I'm like, this kid has so much heart. Like he did not want to tap. I was nervous. I'm like, he might just pass out. He might go to sleep at 5.
Right. I get nervous with that because you know the deal. You've been around, Tatiana. I'm sure you've seen people fall asleep, or you probably put some of them to sleep.
I have.
It's not a good.
I'm like,
sometimes it's not a good look. Sometimes, so because sometimes it's not bad when they wake up. They're usually fine. Everything usually like 9 out of 10 times, but sometimes they're like shaking a little bit or something. So for it to happen to a little kid, God forbid, it never happened in my school. And I'm always during the kids class like, look, man, keep your eyes about, man. These kids are strangling each other, And but again, not a good look. So it's a little scary in that sense. But
it is scary. I'm like, what is going on? This is like crazy. But these kids are like really going after it. I mean, I've seen them in competition and stuff, and I'm like, man, that's pretty crazy. Like they're really into it.
How good does it feel to actually be ready to fight in a few days? Like, is there a party that's like, okay, I'm not going to believe it's real until it actually happens? Or after all this time, how does it feel?
It feels good to be here doing fight week and everything. Obviously, I really actually enjoy fight week. Obviously it sucks usually because, I'm like cutting weight and stuff like that for, usually 115 is a little bit worse, but this is not very tough at all.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's, I feel really good. I'm so happy to be back. I've been itching to get back. I just love to compete. So I'm really excited to go and fight this Saturday.
When you're out for a while, sorry, is there a part, the times where you're like, this is never gonna, it's almost like when the lights go out, when there's a blackout, everyone knows the lights are gonna come back. But then there's a moment where you're like, they're never fucking coming back. Like, did you have that feeling at all? Like, this is never gonna be fixed?
I think, like along the way, it's really mentally challenging, but I'm a very optimistic person naturally, I think. So, and I'm like always always on to like the next goal, and I always try to be better than I am before. And I think for me, it was really tough, but I remained like, I guess, motivated because I love MMA so much. Like, it's my passion. I'll get done with the practice and I'll be excited for the next day because I'm like, man, I can't wait for tomorrow because I'm just so excited to do it because I love it that much. And when you have that type of passion, it's hard to let it go.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and also, I wrestled when I was young, and then I ended up being, my goal in life was to be an Olympic champion. And I had like a really bad neck injury and I had cancer. So that was sidelined, for a little bit. And I didn't get to meet those goals that I set for myself as a, a really young girl. So being able to actually live out this other goal that I have as, in MMA, and live out this dream, I feel like I couldn't give up on myself, if, I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. If I was just like, it's too hard, all these injuries, I wouldn't be able to look at myself because, I'd rather try than not try. You know what I mean? So, I'm never going to give up. It's just not my style.
Right.
And you kind of like mentioned in there, you said you had cancer?
Yeah, I did.
When I heard that,
really young.
Thrown in there, really. I'm like, wait, what? Say it again. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I had been wrestling for the U.S. World Team, and I was the #1 girl in the nation at the time. And I sustained a neck injury. And I was at the World Cup, and I had won. I did really well at the World Cup. I ended up winning that France Open that was there too. So I was doing really good, and we were going into the Olympic year. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be an Olympian. I can have my chance to go and win an Olympic title. This and that. I was only 19 at the time, so I was really set on making it there. So I ended up getting that neck injury at one of the tournaments. And I was like, maybe they're like, maybe you should do some scans because your nerves are really weird. We want to make sure you're okay, considering it's your neck. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So I went and got a scan done on my neck, and MRI, and they were like, okay, 1, your neck is really bad and you cannot wrestle anymore. And 2, you have a growth on your thyroid, and you need to make sure that that's not cancer. So you need to go see an oncologist. So I flew to California. I got a biopsy done on my thyroid, and they told me that it was cancerous. So then they're like, okay, well, we have to go, and obviously we have to do surgery, and I had to get treatment and stuff like that as well. Like I had to get radiation iodine, and I had to get my thyroid removed. So what they do for the thyroid is they usually take out half of your thyroid. They make sure that it's cancer. And then if it's cancerous, they'll take out the entire thyroid. So they took out half my thyroid. They tested it under a scope, and then it was cancer. So they had to go ahead and take out the other half. And not only that, but it had spread to my lymph nodes and stuff. So they had to take out some lymph nodes. And then it was spreading towards my lungs. So then we had to do some more treatment. Yeah. So that's what I went through. I was really, really young. I was 19 years old. And I don't know, I think, when I was diagnosed, it was the weirdest thing. I was like, people are scared and stuff. I think my family was probably more scared than I was. But man, I guess I've been in the biggest fight for my life, of my life.
Tatiana, let me ask you, if it wasn't, you showed no symptoms of something with your neck, with your like if it wasn't for the wrestling or your neck injury, would you even found out or no? You would have got that scan? Is that right?
Honestly, that's what I always say. I think like I would have never done that because I contributed a lot of my fatigue and everything that was going on with me because I felt like tired a lot. I felt really tired often. Yeah. I contributed to the amount of training I was doing. I was training twice a day, 2 hours each practice. So it was 4 hours a day for wrestling, every single day. And I just contributed the fatigue to that. I'm like, oh, I'm just tired because I trained really hard, So I really think that like that was a saving grace for me, like if I wouldn't have like got the neck injury, I would have never known that I had cancer, and who knows what have happened.
And you said when they're doing surgery, they take half out and then check under a microscope. You mean during the same surgery they look, right? They don't have you come back for a second procedure.
Yeah, that's what I was told. Yeah, that's what they said. They said they test it to make sure it's cancer, and if it is, then they take it all out. If it's not, they'll leave half of your thyroid in.
Now, when your thyroid is taken out, what is it your thyroid is no longer, obviously because it's not there, is no longer able to do? Like, and are there any things that are supposed to happen for you with the thyroid that your body can't do now?
So actually your thyroid controls everything. It controls your hormones. It controls your body temperature. I mean, it controls a lot of things. So yeah, I mean, I have to take a pill now every single day. And if I lack in that, then I definitely see a change in myself. I'll see like a lot, like I get really fatigued, really tired. I get a lot more like, emotional or whatever, maybe because I don't have like stabilized hormones and stuff like that. So I just need to make sure that it's on top of it because obviously hormones are very important when it comes to our body. Like sleep obviously is affected by hormones. Energy levels are affected by hormones. I mean, if you know anybody who's been affected by any type of like thyroid disease or anything like that, like even if they have like high thyroid, like hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism, they always tell you like it's very, very difficult. And at like a couple of fan expos, I've actually met people that have had like, for instance, like maybe they have hypothyroidism and they're like, I have hypothyroidism and like, it was really hard for me and this and that. I just got diagnosed and I'm like, man, I understand what you're saying. Like, unless you experience it, you really don't understand how much it really affects you. So a couple of times I've been fortunate enough to meet some fans that have dealt with the same thing that I have. And I could actually offer them some like helpful advice and like inspire them in a small way, which was why I'm so happy to be part of the UFC where they give us the opportunity to actually speak to fans, even if it's like for like 10 seconds,
Right.
Hey, Isn't it funny how it's known that you had that, so then the fans come up to you with their stories. It's not the same thing at all. And I don't want TMI because I don't want I want you to come back on the show because we're having fun. But I got ulcerative colitis, so I got some ass problems. I'm sorry, Tatiana, you can handle it. So sometimes I have fans that are writing me, and they're like, "Oh, I got that too." Oh, I go, "Oh, you know my pain." So it's not the same thing. And then they're like, "Try this herb and this and that." So I'm like, all right. So it's nice. Just like with Jimmy, he needs a thunder buddy. Let's see. I have a question for you, Jimmy. You get scared when the lights go off during those thunderstorms? Me and Tatiana noticed you said that story. And like, come back on. What's that little bird?
Wait, which story?
You said before that when the lights go out in the thunderstorm, they'll go on, but for a while you get a little bird. You get scared with the cover. No. Are you afraid of storms? I don't want to embarrass you in front of Tatiana.
No. I don't mind a storm. I mean a blackout when there's a blackout. I don't care for storms. I will admit that I'll cower, but I wasn't saying it for that reason. But yes, I will cower behind a sofa occasionally during a storm.
Picture like in that scene from Ted. Tatiana, you ever seen the movie Ted with Mark Wahlberg?
Yes, I have.
When all of a sudden thunder goes, there's a thunderstorm, and the little bear runs into bed with them. Oh, buddies for life. It's only God's faults. They get, they're all nervous. So Jimmy, it's okay. Other people, it's like a phobia. Okay, let's get back to Tatiana.
All right,
Tatiana.
I used to be scared of the dark when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You are. What cured you?
I used to like run down the hallway, like from like, say I wanted to go to the kitchen or something. I would like peek out and then I would look down the hallway and like coast is cleared, no monsters, and I would just like sprint across the thing to the kitchen.
But that's cute when you're a kid, but Jimmy's 50, so
I'm 54. It's not cute at all when I cower.
It's not cute when he does that, especially when he has a guest over.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. My girlfriend hates it. I'm under an Afghan whimpering. Yeah, she's not. It's not sexy.
Hey, Tatiana, especially when you couldn't train with your injuries, well, give us some stuff you like to do, like some hobbies other than training. It could be something you're streaming, series you watched, movies, books you read. Talk to us.
You know, I did a lot of soul searching. No, I'm just kidding.
Great. Go ahead.
I'm like, I went to Peru and I did ayahuasca. You're like, what?
That's the story I'm waiting for. No. Anything. That's great, though. A lot of people have those kind of stories. One day,
yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I'm so chicken that I like, because like, I don't know, I'm not like into like, I don't know, I get so nervous about putting stuff in my body. Yeah. Like I'm super natural. I know it's natural. Like I know that some of the things that they do are natural, but I'm so nervous to like have like a weird reaction to it. Like, so like, I just couldn't, I'm too chicken to do that. I'm like, I might just die in the rainforest. Like, that's how scared I am.
That's like, that's stupid. You know what turns me off is I already have ass problems. So like, well, when you first do it, you know, you're shitting yourself and you're vomiting, but you don't really mind it. I go, really? You don't mind it? I have a feeling, I'm a clean freak. I might, is there a shower in the rainforest? Like, am I able to jump into a shower and rinse off? I don't know. It just doesn't sound, if I'm tripping, you know, if I'm getting out of my mind, I like to be clean. And so I'm always afraid with the psychedelics. You know, an edible is one thing and those type of things and weed, but anything harder, I don't like any kind of hard drugs. But the psychedelics, I want to do that somewhere in the, I'm afraid, like, I don't want to be one of those guys where because God knows I'm not normal. What if I take it and all of a sudden I'm eating somebody's face? I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. You know what I mean? You hear these stories.
I'm nervous to be tripping somewhere where, yeah, exactly. Like, what if I just jump off the mountain?
Right? And all the stuff you did, and then all they remember you as some psychopath that tripped, you know, I don't know, didn't handle his trip well.
I'm afraid that I would do that, and then a storm would come, and I would be cowering nude, and then I would realize there is no storm, and I'm in a restaurant.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God. That is so great. Oh my God.
Well, look. Yes.
Oh, we getting rid of her already? You got to leave.
No, we have Nikita's coming in. I thought he was coming in 3 minutes, and maybe I'm wrong.
All right. Well, what are you watching? Are you watching any shows? Or do you stream anything, or no? You're not a big streamer.
Me, I like movies.
Give us your last movie. Last movie you seen, and how'd you like it? Let me hear.
Oh, okay. I watched Us last. I rented it off the YouTube. It's like that movie that's by
Jordan Peele?
Yes.
It's a horror movie?
They're the makers of Get Out, right? Get
Out.
And then Nope, right?
Right. Same guy.
I heard Nope was horrendous.
I've seen all three.
How was Nope? Was Nope good?
I liked Nope.
Okay. Some people didn't like it.
I'm like, Nope.
Nope.
You're like, what? I'm like, Nope.
Get Out was good?
Get Out was really good, yeah. And Us, I was watching in a theater, and less than 10 minutes before the end, the power in the theater went out, and all of us just sat there like, what the fuck? And the entire theater had just lost power 10 minutes before the end, and they said we can come back the next day, but I wasn't able to. So I've never seen the ending of that, so I have to watch that again. I'm so annoyed.
Oh my God. So check this out. I rented it on YouTube, right? And I had been procrastinating to like watch it. I missed the last 10 minutes of it, so I couldn't tell you.
We both missed the last 10 minutes of it.
Yeah. I'm going to rent it again because I really want to know.
Just let me know if you recommend it.
I'll tell you. My boyfriend, he loves to ruin movies for me. He's like, I'll tell you what the ending of the movie is. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no.
I want to watch it, but I want to go watch Ant-Man tonight.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun. I seen it. You're going to have a good time.
I mean, you only just like, the only thing I don't like about these movies is they're so long. You just like, you leave and then it's like a whole day goes by and you're done with the movie.
It's a couple hours for sure. So I'd go there, you know, I go there at the right time. You know, my 11-year-old, she crashed, but
Yeah.
I
Time
knew.
we go though, Patchy, he decides to like fall asleep.
Yeah, you can't have that. Oh, it froze. All right, so what should we do with this?
Well, because we have Nikita coming in, I'm thinking in a minute now.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, Jake. If you can get a hold of Tatiana, tell her thank you. We had a great time with her. We'd love to have her back again after the fight, and we both wish her a lot of luck. And we're really happy she's back.
We had fun. Oh, let her know that we had fun. We didn't get to say goodbye.
I accidentally made it. I accidentally got off, but I wanted to say bye.
Okay, that's
so
okay.
Nice. Tatiana, I'm happy that you came back because we felt we had such a great interview. We wanted to say goodbye.
Yes.
Best of luck in your fight. We're so
Yes.
happy you're back. Come back on again soon, okay?
Thank you so much. Bye.
When it first cut out, Jimmy, I wasn't sure if she could see us or hear us. So I was going to say, and I don't want to embarrass you because she did.
Yeah.
Tatiana, can you see me?
Why would that embarrass me? It's marvelous.
Tatiana, can you hear me?
Wow, who would be embarrassed by that? So you have the voice of a lark.
What is a lark?
A bird, I believe, singing. Singing.
Both birds. Oh, Jimmy, you know what
Yes.
I like about Wednesdays? I do that 7 a.m. class. I come out here, I hang out with you in the afternoon. And now,
Come on now.
I go back tonight. I teach the over 40s class.
You do.
One of my new favorite classes to teach. Oh, you know what I put on? Pandora. Let's
A
put
dress?
on.
Oh.
I'm picturing myself in a dress now, and I don't think
It's not good. Yeah, George
good.
Santos looks a lot better than you, but I think so.
I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, I put on Queen on Pandora, so it's got
That was
nice.
close.
Oh. And then I put on my dress. Oh, Jimmy.
This is a really interesting fight, Matt. Number 6 against number 8 in this main event. Ryan Spann has looked incredibly good.
When are they going to take away the word moron? And then, because when morons get upset about it, because I'm running out of words to use when I'm being less than smart.
You could
taking away the words.
You could keep moron. I think if you kept moron,
I'm a moron, Jimmy.
Nobody will ever object to that or disagree with that.
No, wait a second.
Oh, wait, sorry. I missed the point?
Yes, bring him in. Bring in Nikita.
Hi, guys.
Let me ask.
Yeah.
When did he get that shiner? How soon do we lay off the hard sparring? We got to make sure we get there in one piece.
This is from my friend Sergey, but sometimes I punch some legs or fist my head, but nobody take me, just I touch. Короче, я его сам ударил.
It wasn't me who got punched. I was the one who punched his fist with my head. So sometimes this is how we work on things.
Okay. Is this Nikita's first main event?
In UFC, yes. It's first my main event in UFC, but not first in main event on my career.
Was the other main event that you fought in also 5 rounds, or was it 3?
Yeah, it was be 5 rounds, but I fight just 2 rounds and win on second round.
Oh, okay. And is there any different pressure or the media requirements of the main event in the UFC? Has it affected anything? The things you have to do to be a main event fight in the UFC? Is there any of that stuff that you found distracting or irritating?
Yeah, sure. UFC, it's a great organization. It's a big deal for me, and so many media. For this morning, I speak with guys maybe 2 hours now. 2 часа уже разговариваю вот по Zoom.
He's been in his room for about 2 hours talking to different reporters. So it's the longest he's ever had to do media before.
Sure.
Can I just say that I feel fighting's about confidence, and he doesn't lack that in the cage. But with this interview, I don't think he needs you. I think he's fine. I think he understands me perfect. Look at him. It's great, Nikita. I like your English. You know what I mean? I think you should be confident with your English. Shit. Good job.
It's great, but I not understand also what to say. That's why I need a translator.
That's all right. Now listen, let me ask Nikita. I'm sorry, Nikita.
Sure.
Let me ask, what age did you start your training, and what discipline did you start with?
First discipline was be Kyokushin karate. I start training in 11 maybe. Was training 6 or 7 years. Win the European Championship for junior, and after a little bit finish training because go learn in university, and after when maybe 20. I come in mixed martial arts for my first coach. It's Valery Andreev. He's training me now. He training for combat sambo, and I am starting to do this.
What do you think about there's been so many changes in the light heavyweight division in the last year? I mean, things are so much different now. Do you feel excited and like there's a lot more opportunities now, or how do you feel about what has transpired in the division over the course of the last year or so?
It's beautiful, I think, потому что ребята становятся более.
I feel great about all the changes because the fighters that are coming, the fighters are more competitive. The sport is evolving itself, and now many more guys have more opportunities to become a champion. So I'm excited about all these changes.
Многих ребят есть возможность стать чемпионами.
What did you think about when you got matched up with Ryan Spann? Because listen, it takes two to tango. I don't know how you're gonna translate that. Anyway, but it takes you to have a good fight. You need a good dance partner. And when I'm looking at Nikita's record here, I see the guys not so much. I'm going to say the last two losses with Magomed and Paul Craig. They're grapplers. They're the fact that he's got another. It's not that he can't grapple or Ryan Spann can't grapple, but Ryan Spann, he's known for putting people to sleep with his strikes, just like Nikita. Is he happy that he has another, striking-based fighter to face?
I'm very excited about this matchup, actually. If it does go to the ground, I feel like my wrestling is better. My ground game is better. But when it comes to the stand-up, I'm excited about it being stand-up. And Ryan seems like the guy who can drop you from either one of his hits. But I can drop people with any one of my limbs, whether it's my hands or my legs. I can put you down with any of them. So I think I got advantage standing up. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Nikita, what do you think Ryan's plan against you is going to be? Like, if Ryan Spann watches you and watches your fights, what do you think he is going to want to try to do?
I think his plan is going to be counter-punching. He's going to be working the second. As long as I keep pressing first and put my game plan first, I think his only chance is to try and get a good counterpunch or possibly a guillotine. I know that he's got a really good guillotine, but other than that, my fights, if you look at my fights, I start fast, I start pressing, I start quick, I start coming. So as long as I'm able to do that, I think his only game plan is to find a good counterpunch.
That's selling the fight right there, Jimmy.
Yeah, this is a great matchup. Number 6 against number 8 in the light heavyweight division. Everything has changed in the last year more than once. Prohaska obviously has the next shot against Jamal Hill. And what do you think you need to do, Nikita, to get a shot at the title? We know that Yuri is going to be next, but what do you think you would have to do? One more fight or something after this fight? What's your thoughts?
I think I'm ready fight for the title, but if I win, I must will fight maybe one or two more fight. If I will.
As long as I keep winning, if I have good fights, if I keep moving forward, it should happen. There's no reason why it shouldn't happen.
Well, thank you very much for coming. I know you've been doing press all morning. Good luck on Saturday. This is a great matchup, and congratulations on the main event. And I'm looking forward to watching this fight, and we will talk to you afterwards.
Thank you so much. It was I'm very happy to have to speak to you, and looking forward to the fight.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Nikita, very much. Yeah, and Matt, we should do our job too and really properly promote this main event on Saturday night. Let me get this. Well, hold on, but I do like the fact that hold on, let me just get the time. I have all these in a PDF. It is I'm so bad at just finding the fucking date. Hold
They're
on,
gonna
man.
clean this up.
No, they don't have to. They can just let my incompetence show. Here we go. It's this Saturday, of course. It's Krylov versus Spann. 4 o'clock are the prelims, and the main event at 7 p.m. both on ESPN Plus. Nikita Krylov against Ryan Spann. And let's pick a couple of these fights.
Hey,
yes, sir.
end of the story.
What?
Jimmy, I get so happy.
Oh, Matt.
I got these teenagers and these young kids at my school.
Sure.
I think about when I was a kid, you know, and there was a kickboxing school around the block from me. And I went over there around 15. And there was these two brothers, and one had like a scar on his face. And I'm like, man. And they made us do a jump rope for like whatever. The next day, my calves were killing me. And I remember I came in like the following day, and I wanted to kind of join up. And I wanted to talk to my father about it. And I remember the guy was like, he goes, and you're back again. He's like, I only have time for my students. He's like, if you're not joining up, like he was very rude. And I remember that as a kid, and it totally turned me off.
Right.
And I ended up not joining up. I didn't like the guy was a dick, to be honest with you. And I remember feeling like that. And now I think of my place. I think, and that's not just my place, a lot of martial arts schools out there, you know?
Yeah.
And how that could have like changed my life. Jimmy, I mean, I got this young kid, Cal, dude. I have this kid 16 years old. That kid's there on a Saturday. He'll do my 9 a.m. class. He'll stick around, do the kickboxing class with my buddy Colombo, and then he'll do the no-gi class at noon. In between, he's walking to the deli. He's getting a sandwich. He's there on Friday nights. I mean, and the other kids too, his age. This kid Jax. And I think about this trouble I got into on the street. Jimmy, when I was 17, I'm in a Mab's Liquor parking lot drinking a Cisco with my buddies. Jimmy, one time, quick story.
Yes.
Because this is out like this. Because it makes me happy that I can do this for these kids. Because they'll never end up in the predicaments that I was in. So listen, Long Island, Friday night, many moons ago, 17-year-old me, okay, drinking a Cisco. Did you ever mess with Cisco?
I don't think so. No.
It's in like a 40 ounce, like a malt liquor.
It's a malt liquor. Okay, I never liked malt liquor,
but it tastes like it tasted like a almost like a wine cooler type of drink. But it was so I don't know if that's a malt liquor. Is that a malt liquor? It was like, you know, what is a Cisco? We should look into that. But anyway, it got me crazy. It got you like adrenaline up. It was kind of fucking nutty, that Cisco. So I remember there's a time I got into like a situation with the local drug dealer. What happened was this guy, we were outside drinking, right, in this parking lot, Jimmy. And this guy, then all of a sudden this guy comes out, he's doing donuts in the fucking thing. So now this is why you make bad decisions.
Sure.
And then there's repercussions. So I threw my Cisco bottle at that fucking car. He was going off being stupid, but I was wrong, Jimmy. You don't do that.
Sure, no, you shouldn't.
I shouldn't have done that. That wasn't clear thinking.
Right.
I was drunk and I did something stupid as a kid. So the guy pulls up and he goes, "Oh, you like to fucking throw things?" And I'm like, I had words with him. I'm like, "Yeah, I like to fucking, I had some words with him." He goes, "All right, tough guy. All right." And he sped off. I didn't know he was the local drug dealer, right? He died since in a car accident. But it has nothing to do with this. But so I forgot the guy's name too. Let's just call him John, the drug dealer. So, so then I found that, man, that's what's his name. He's the big time, drug dealer around, whatever.
Sure.
So listen. So he came back that night. I left with my friends to go to some kind of party in Queens or something. And then my buddy Rico goes, "Hey man, that guy came back with another guy." And the guy had like a crowbar. He was like fucking bending it. and he was like bending the fucking thing. I don't even know what that means, but I remember that. And he goes, and he was looking for you, and he was a big dude. And they said that he was looking for you. So I'm like, all right. I go, this is something that I'm going to probably have to face sooner or later, you know, because I knew the guy had a reputation. So fast forward, I told you about my years at Pizza Amore with Nicky and Louie, the Pizzeria brothers, the same where I got into that infamous incident where I got into that street fight where, you know, whatever. So I'm at the pizzeria. Now picture this. It's almost closing time. And this guy walks in, something out of fucking above the law. Like he looked like a biker. Like he had tattoos, stocky. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was 17. So this is fucking 30 years ago. You know what I mean? Well, is that 30 years ago? Yeah, I guess so. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, a long time ago. I'm 48 now. Do the math. So Jimmy, so the guy comes in, he's like, hey, and he had a raspy voice. Like, he's like, yeah. He was something out of a movie. And I was folding the pizza boxes. I'm off to the side folding the pizza boxes. You know, put the pizza boxes together. It was late at night. He comes in. It's like 8:30. We're going to close like whatever. And, hey, is there a guy? And I knew immediately it was the guy.
Sure. Immediately.
Now, remember, Jimmy, I was wrong for throwing that fucking bottle.
Yeah.
But as a kid, when I was in 7th grade, I got fucked with. And I made like almost like a superhero pledge. Okay. You know I'm corny. You know, I'm like, I watched those. I'm not right out of a comic book. But I did say, I said to myself, I would rather deal with whatever consequences, but no one's ever fucking touching me again. No one's ever bullying me again. I'm not getting touched. I'm never getting touched. I'm never getting smacked around, nothing. You know what I mean? And that's not happening. I know that in my mind, no matter what. So, but I also know I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So the guy comes in, hey, you're a kid, Matt here. You got a deep voice. And I go, hey, that's me. I go, why don't we talk outside? He goes, hey, we could talk outside, you know, like that guy. So, you know, we went outside and I go, look, man, I go, this one. And he goes, so first thing he goes, hey, you got a problem with like a bottle? You got a problem with some kind of throwing bottles? I go, look, this is what I'm going to do. And I swear I angle myself. Now, look, I didn't know jiu-jitsu back then, but I was a scrappy kid and I was a tough kid. And this guy, he was bigger than me and he looked like he's been around, you know what I mean? For sure. But this is how it went down. So I go, I'm going to tell you right now, I was wrong for throwing that bottle, and I'll apologize for that. I was wrong. I go, but I'm not getting touched for anybody. I go, so we could accept the apology, and it was my bad, but I don't know if I said my bad back then.
Well, you're right.
I go, I was wrong for throwing the bottle, but you go to put your hand on me. You know, this is not going to go the way you think it's going to go. And he goes, and the guy, so he looks at me, he goes, you know, I thought I was going to deal with some punk kid here. He recognized what he was dealing with. That I wasn't I really was. It was out of character even then for me to do that. But by the way I was talking to him, he knew what. So he goes, look, come with me. We walk into Seasons Bar right next door. Yeah. He's on the phone. Yeah. No, he's sorry. Yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah, all right. Well, all right. He goes, look, and I remember this like it was yesterday. He goes, look, and first of all, I don't think the guy's no big time guy, but he goes, look, the guy you do a bottle out, he wasn't a jerkle. All right. But I wasn't expecting this when I got it. I expected some little punk kid. Right. So I mean, we had a nice conversation. I shook his hand and he made a call and he got me, he took care of it in his way.
Yeah.
The guy was what it was.
Yeah.
But my point is.
Did you ever see that guy again?
No. I seen the drug dealer again. Because I had a friend, Anthony, who was a construction guy, and I went over his house and the guy was there. They knew each other. And I'm like, and Anthony goes, you're good with men. He's like, whatever. So he gives like almost like, it's an afterthought,
Sure.
But and that guy Anthony ended up getting shot in the head. But that's a whole he had a drug problem, but that's a whole other thing. But anyway, the drug dealer ended up dying in a car accident. But the point is, Jimmy,
right.
I was in the wrong. And why was I in the wrong? Fucking alcohol. And I was a kid on the streets on the weekend. When I see Friday night and it's Friday night at the academy, I'm screaming. Got the music on and I see these young kids training and then class is over. I'm not kicking them out. They're afterwards, they're hanging out until 10 o'clock. I mean, dude, it's great, Jimmy. Okay, let's do a pick and let's get out of here.
One thing I would have done, though, is you said the guy was bending the crowbar. I hope he got his money back on that defective crowbar.
Hey, man, I never seen that part, but that's my buddy Rico. Rico told me that. Rico goes, dude, that guy came back and he's got a big guy with him bending a crowbar. I know I'm gonna have to deal with this sooner or later.
Yeah.
And I dealt with it. But it could have went worse.
Sure.
I'm the type of guy where if I ever have to fight, I want to make sure I'm in the right. And I was in the wrong. But even being in the wrong, you can only, not getting touched. But it was still, if I would have had an outlet at that age, and if Woody would have went to the police, this never would have happened.
That's very true.
What's that from?
Woody Woodpecker.
Well, of course, but the kids
You
don't
said
know
Woody.
I did say Woody, but the kids nowadays are going to say, what does that mean? And I want them to Google that. You think that'll be on YouTube?
No.
Woody Woodpecker?
I hope not. And let's make a little rule. We never discuss Woody Woodpecker again.
We get to a certain point. Well, I know the podcast is over. Let's do it.
Yes, at 2:05.
You're so funny. I know you so well. All right, come on. Let's do a couple of picks.
Let's do Krylov against Ryan Spann main event.
I'm saying Ryan Spann, even though I do like this. I like this guy. I like Nikita, But Ryan Spann, I'm thinking about how active you got me crying, Jimmy. You deserve a medal, Jimmy, for dealing with this. Ryan Spann. Ryan Spann's been so accurate, and I just watched his win over Dominic Reyes again.
Yeah.
Dominic Reyes was setting him up for a straight left, and he didn't even know what the hell hit him. I do. It was Ryan Superman Spann. Yeah. And I'm going to say Ryan Spann, second round knockout.
I'm going to say the same thing. I don't think it goes. I don't think he stops him in the first. I think Krylov is a good enough fighter to push through a first round, and it really might be who just lands a solid punch first. But Ryan Spann has looked too good as of late. Then again, so has Krylov in his last couple of fights. But I'm going to take Spann in the second. And I also would love to do Suarez against Montana De La Rosa. That's very interesting because she hasn't fought in over 3 years. I'm going to take Tatiana. I'm going to take her by decision over Montana De La Rosa.
You know what?
What?
I got the same thing.
Okay. We very rarely agree, but tonight we are going to agree.
Yeah, I got the same thing by decision. I feel that because Montana's she's no joke on the floor either.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy, jiu-jitsu. Hey man, Jimmy, I had so much fun.
This was a lot of fun. And we'll talk over the weekend. And don't forget to tune into the fights, 4 p.m. Prelim, 7 p.m. main card, ESPN Plus, and Krylov against Spann. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Wow, Jimmy, what do you plug some shit? Go ahead.
Tonight I have the Huntington gig that you're coming to. There might be 6 tickets released, like my comps that I had, because you're already taken care of. I have a few people coming, and there's like 6 left over. But the show is almost sold out. The only tickets available as of right now are single tickets. They're always hard to sell because it's just one seat here and one there. So it's kind of hard to find people going to a comedy show by themselves. So there are a few single tickets left. So if you and a friend want to go, you just won't be able to sit together. And that's it. And I might have six of my comps might be released because I'm not going to use them.
I can't wait, Jimmy.
Yeah, I can't either.
All go to Sarah BJJ, right?
Yeah. And watch the fight. That's the Jones fight that night.
We do. What time are we getting out? We're going to have enough time.
We'll be out before 10.
Oh.
And then we can go watch the fight.
A great night.
Yep.
Jimmy, I had so much fun. You're not at the Fat Black Pussycat tonight?
I am tonight. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's sold out or not. Fat Black Pussycat, I'll be running my hour. And things are really good. So come by and see me.
Jimmy, love
Thanks,
you, buddy.
pal. I love you, Matt.
You don't got to train with me, but you really should train. That's all I'm going to say. Jimmy, I'll talk to you by this weekend.
All right, pal. Have a good night.
Goodbye, everyone.